So, as we move on to the first session of the day, I have an important announcement to make. Audience, please feel free to drop your questions and doubts during the session in the Zoom chat box. We'll be addressing your queries at the end of the session. Moving on, I am honored to welcome you all to our first session of the day on the topic Identify Your Potential to Excel in Your Career. So, without further delay, I would like to introduce to you our speaker, Mrs. Smitha Negi, currently working as soft skills training consultant and managerial coach. Mrs. Smitha has graduated from Lal Bahadur Shastri Engineering College and completed her MBA from Amity University, Noida. She has worked as Senior Specialist Learning and Development at MTS Systema Shyam Services Limited and as Assistant Manager Training and Development at Exchanging Technologies and Aegis BPU. It is indeed a pleasure to have you here, ma'am. I, on behalf of IEEE MSS, cordially welcome you to this session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for introducing Mira. Thank you so much. Just switching on the video. Hold on. Yes. Okay. So this background has been, I didn't know that I have this background. This is done by my kids who do online classes. A very, very warm welcome to everybody. It must have been a long day for you if you have been on, this call for a very, very long time. For me, it's indeed a great pleasure to be talking in this platform for many reasons. Number one, of course, the sheer prestigious platform that it provides for all of us, students, faculties, professionals like me alike. Second, let me tell you, this event for me is taking me back in time, 18 years back in time, because I graduated in the year 2002 from LBS College of Engineering, Kasaragod. I did my electrical and electronics engineering 18 years back. So for me, this is an extreme, nostalgic moment for me. You see, Kasaragod is not very far from Kozhikode. So we spent a lot of time on weekends in Kozhikode. And of course, Ragam, this particular fest, I think extremely nostalgic. Thank you, everybody. My name is Smitha Negi, and I'm talking to you from Pune. Like Mira said, I am a training and development consultant, which means I am talking to people from all careers and walks of life in corporate about soft skills. You see, somebody who is an engineer is technical in nature that she studied, is talking non-technical and soft skills to people. Do you know what is soft skills, if I may ask you? Anybody, do you know what is soft skill? I thought we'll keep it interactive. If anybody wants to contribute, what is soft skill? Anybody? Okay, so let me tell you. So if I could tell you my story, and if you could learn from this, you see, when I graduated from LBS in the year 2002, and I was a good student, so I did electrical and electronics. 2001, you must have been like a year or 2 or 3 years old, is when the 9/11 attacks happened. So we didn't have a lot of college placements, so we didn't have a lot of corporate coming college placements. I went back to my father, who was working in the Indian Air Force then, to Delhi. And there were dearth of jobs, of course. I picked up a job then in BPO. If you remember, 2000 was the advent of BPOs. And I remember taking calls, and then eventually I got an opportunity to train because the trainer or the training consultant who was training us had to leave for the United States of America. So I got a chance to train people on the floor within the very 6 months of graduating from the engineering college. And this was in Delhi. And I worked with this firm for about 3 years. And then I realized that it's time for me to reposition myself and to polish my skills. I decided to do my MBA in HR. And I did that from Amity. Okay, so now I'm an engineer. I went ahead to do my MBA. from Amity University in Noida, which is close to Delhi. And it was a full-time MBA. 2007, I passed out, and ever since I have been in learning and development field. And I have been talking soft skills to people. Now, I will tell you what is soft skills, but before that, uh, I understand, and you understand, and everybody understands that technical competency in whatever that your field is a must, is without a doubt the must, because that is your functional expertise, that's your domain expertise. But my question to you would be, uh, is that enough to be a truly effective employee at a workplace, a truly effective team member at workplace, and in some years, a truly effective manager? Is technical competency enough? Will that make you effective? Only with domain expertise or functional expertise is my question to all of you. So think about it. Uh, and hence the importance of soft skills. Now, soft skills is what? So let me give you an example. Let's take an example of a salesperson. Okay, and I will bring IT perspective as well. As IT professionals, what are those soft skills that you will require to not just get a job? You all will get a job, because we need engineers more than ever before, and so much in number, and of course, competent engineers. But for you to not just get a job, to stay in the job, to climb up the ladder professionally, to own a team, to take care of a team, to become a manager and a leader, soft skills are extremely important. So, like I said, let me take an example. Let's take an example of a salesperson. So now, if this salesperson is, you see, extremely competent in his product knowledge, in the market that he's working in, extremely competent, very knowledgeable. Okay, but let's say if he doesn't have the core skills of, let's say, selling his product to a customer, to convince a customer, let's say to close deals, to retain clients, convince the customer, persuade the customer, influencing the customer. If he doesn't have these, then what he has will not make much difference to the output that he gets. So what he has to be communicated very effectively to get more customers or clients. Similarly, let's say a business manager. Okay, a business manager is extremely good in writing RFPs. He is extremely good in Excels. He's extremely good in data analytics. So his knowledge, his subject matter expertise is par excellence. But if he is unable to keep his team motivated, to negotiate with his clients, to be assertive, when I say assertive, to say what he means to say without fear, to take a stand. So all of these beautiful skills are a part of soft skills. Uh, if you have a question, do stop me, and you can definitely ask. Okay. Um, Hence, my prerogative today here is to quickly explain you the critical importance of soft skill will bring into your lives when you will, get into a corporate life from a campus life. Okay. And I always believe that these soft skills are not just important for your student life, not just important for your professional life. These are extremely important life skills to be learned to have great relationships with people. Now, like I say, and I always say this, that the future of engineers is bright. You see, because I am training across industries today. Uh, I remember in 1998, when I was going to write the common entrance exam in Kerala, my parents and I had a picture of, men in hard hats, men in oil rigs or automobile floor, working with laborers, or men supervising a flyover, or engineers. If you put on Google image and search, this is what you'll mostly find when you put engineer on Google research search engine. Uh, Things have changed. We've come a long, long way. Uh, we are reinventing the position of engineers today with the cutting edge technology that is coming in, with the Amazons, the Netflixes, the Flipkarts coming in. Um, the image of engineer is changing, of course, and it started changing long back. Okay, but if you ask me, in the year 2000s beginning, of course, Kerala produced engineers, and in every household had an engineer, basically. Yes, of course, yes. But the value of engineers has gone up like never before, and that's what I'm trying to tell you here. Uh, Now we are so engineers are in the job of writing codes, are in the job of doing UI UXs, are in the job of reinventing technology, information technology, are in the job of making models for data analytics. Now, data is the new oil. All of us know that. The industry, across industries, is in need of data scientists. And they are paid really, really handsome amount of money. And hence, like I say, future is bright, is absolutely bright. Now, like I said, I will say this again, technical competency is not enough. You see hard skills, which are, your Pythons, your Kubernetes, um, I may run short of the names really because I lost touch long, long back. But the in programs that you have today, uh, uh, hard skills are not enough. Hard skills can be learned, can be taught, okay, uh, can be perfected over a period of time, okay. Soft skills are more challenging because soft skills is not working on machines, tools, programs, codes. Soft skills is working with people. Soft skills is interacting with people. Soft skills is also interacting with yourself. Soft skill is more to do with your character. Okay. If you've heard about terms like skill and will, you will understand this. Okay, skill is capability, trainable. Okay, will is very intrinsic. You see, intrinsic, it's within you. You have to be motivated to have the quest for self development. Let me give you an example. So when I train people, and I said I have done IT enabled services, BPOs, pharmaceuticals, telecommunications industries. I've had trainees sitting together and discussing on the skills that they should really develop to do well in life, in their careers. So I've heard people saying, I want to do really well. I just want to be the Excel god. How do I do this? How do I maximize my spreadsheets? There are people I've heard talking about, like I said, the Pythons, the Hyperloops, uh, or any other hard skills as such. They're talking about learning and amassing knowledge as much as they can. Hmm? Now, let me tell you, all of these skills you can learn on a Sunday afternoon on Google, or you can call over a friend who's an expert or a subject matter expertise, sit with him and get a hang of it. These can be polished, these can be perfected, like I said, over a period of time. Now, as when you get a job, when you grow in your job, when you have team members, like I said, you will realize that there are more challenging behaviors that you will have to deal with, more challenging people. I should not use the word people because that would be, I would have a bias, but I would say you're dealing with behaviors, you're dealing with emotions. So let me give you a scenario. So you would have challenges like, oh my God, so I have to work with this Monica or Trupti. She's from another team, and I have to collaborate with her on a particular project. And I have to start working with her. And I know clearly that she doesn't like me or I don't like her. Okay. Now you see, Monica and you both may be extremely equipped in terms of knowledge, expertise, experience, etc. But you see, when you come together as a team, if you are unable to make it through your behaviors, through your attitude, you're unable to collaborate and work as a team, you see, then you will not be able to achieve the kind of output that you could have if you had supported your hard skills with your soft skills. Your interpersonal ability is extremely, extremely important, trust me. Or a situation where you say you have to present to your boss or your client. You have to do a presentation, it could be any medium, a PowerPoint or anything. You see, your subject, your Excel sheets, etc. But when you go in front of your boss, he asks you 100 questions, you're unable to really give clear answers, or maybe your thoughts are not very clear, but how did you come to a conclusion on that Excel sheet, etc. Or let's say you received an email by a client, happens a lot, a customer who is extremely abusive, who has written a very, very rude email to you, and you want to react to that email. You are not happy with that email, but can you express your unhappiness over that email by reacting on that email? The answer is no, you cannot. uh, you have to have a way of words with this person to express and respond back, because you have to retain the customer. You cannot do anything about it. So you have to learn those soft skills to how to work your way through, to connect with people in spite of not liking them or their behaviors or their attitudes, etc. And that's why I always tell people when I train that in soft skills, 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. A plus B whole squared is not equal to A squared plus B squared plus 2AB. Okay, I remember this. So you see, it's not black, it's not white. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's all gray. And you learn with experience when you talk to people, when you have different team situations, when you meet different managers, when you have different clients, etc. That's what will happen. Satya Nadella, for example, or let's say Sundar Pichai, for example. May I ask you today that the position that these gentlemen are today at, have they reached these positions because they were technical experts, because they were domain experts, because they were extremely intelligent, extremely creative, of course, very important? Is that the only reason that they reached there where they are today? Do you think they would have had some other skills to run a company, a multi-million dollar company, and become the CEO of such an organization of such repute, such worth? Do you think technical competency or domain expertise is enough? Or do you think these people and people in leadership positions have worked their way through by polishing these soft skills as well? If anybody wants to contribute, do say. And I always say, when you contribute, there is no right or wrong. We are only here to make things better. So if anybody wants to say, do say. So, what are the other skills you think, these people exhibited to reach where they are today? Anybody who wants to say? Anybody who wants to contribute? Yes, I can see somebody unmuted. Anybody? Do you think domain and functional expertise was enough for a leader to reach where he is today, to lead a huge team, a multi-million dollar team, an organization of immense repute? Do you think domain and functional expertise is enough? Or there was something else as well you have to be exhibiting? Anybody? Okay. So yes, he must have very, very largely influenced a lot of people in his journey. Of course, he has made a difference with his expertise, with his knowledge, with his creativity, with his ideas, with his thoughts. But that's not enough for him to motivate people, for him to influence people, for him to negotiate with people, for him to have great interpersonal ability, for him to empathize with his team, to for him to keep his team together. You must have heard these sayings, and you will hear as you go into corporate lives. They say that people don't leave organizations, they basically leave managers. Whether you are able to keep people together is an important quality, and that's what people leadership is all about, you see. And many more skills that these people must have exhibited to reach where they are. Otherwise, domain expertise, knowledge is very, very important, but you've got to be supporting these hard skills with soft skills to make your life easy and your team members' life easy, and to reach great effectiveness in the organization. Let me give you another example. So I was recently training in an insurance industry. Wouldn't take the name here, but I was training a batch of 117 IITians. Okay, now, they were new hires, and I would say extremely competent without a second thought. Without a second thought. Now, business comes to us and tells us that Smitha, they are able to give us solutions, but it's difficult for them to understand my problem statement. For example, he tells me a case. He tells that, let's say my customer wants to buy a policy. Okay. So he's trying to buy a policy on the website, and the customer drops off at a particular point in time in the workflow. Now, when this happens, the call is disconnected. What do I do about it? So the engineer goes back, okay, of course. The IT professional goes back, works on changing the codes, doing UI, UXs, and whatever permutation combination. He comes back with a solution, but he's unable to explain the solution to the business person in layman terms for the business person to understand. You see, very, very important, because not everybody understands such huge terms. Or so you will have to be speaking to a business person like you're speaking to a 12th grader or an 11th grader for them to understand the jargons that we are using. Technology brings in sophistication, hence knowledge is sophisticated. It's not easy. Of course, for you it's a child's play, but for the business to understand why, what, when, what if. So they have a lot of question because they're not sure really. So for the engineer to really explain that and to convince on how he has reached the solution, business faces problems. And hence to speak in their language becomes extremely, extremely important. If I were to ask you, IT professionals in the IT industry, what are those top soft skills you will require to execute your projects, to deliver your projects? Anything that comes to your mind as IT professional, what are those top 5 soft skills you will require to do well in your careers? Of course, domain expertise is very, very important. Like I said, I wouldn't deny that. But to support your hard skills, what are those soft skills you will require? Anybody can just say maybe a skill or two. Let me maybe try this if anybody wants to contribute here. Top soft skills you will require as IT professionals as you move on in your careers, in your lives. I'll take about like 15 seconds to see if I get some contribution here. That'll be great. I can't see you. I can only hear your voices. So anybody who wants to contribute here. Top skills. Okay, right. So I'll move ahead. So let me tell you, okay. Number 1 that you will require, programming skill. Okay, chats, thank you so much. Absolutely. Nafisa, thank you for responding. Nafisa, programming skill without a doubt. So yes, Nafisa, like I said, and I appreciate you for initiating. Thank you so much. Audience responses are extremely motivating for a facilitator. So thank you, Nafisa. Programming skill, of course, without this, we will not be able to get a job. We will not be able to stay in a job. But for us to excel in our job and to work with team members and to work with other clients or other team members, what else, Nafisa? Well said. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate. So one of the skills, let me tell you, okay, I would say the top skill, okay, is patience. Very good. Shabina, thank you. Thank you. Patience, without a doubt, for us, we need to have a lot of patience as engineers. You see, you will do a lot of permutation, combination. You will try all, trial and error to get to a solution. You go to a client, you propose a solution, and the client says, no, it doesn't work. I want this to be changed and that to be changed. And so, yes, patience, a lot of patience. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate. Thank you. Um, thank you, Shabina. Thank you. Thank you. Jilesh, thank you. Thank you for pointing out an extremely, extremely important life skill. Thank you. Top communication skill. I'd say yes. Two C's. Two C's are extremely important for you. One is communication. Okay. Clear communication. Thank you. Very, very well said. Thank you. Communication doesn't mean speaking in great English. It's not that. Then what is communication? It's not about the medium of language that you're using. Then what is communication? Anybody? You can write on the chat. In fact, chat is a good platform if you'd want to. If communication is not language, is not English, is not the quality of English or language, then what am I looking at in communication? There is more than language. Communication is more than language. Communication is how beautifully you express your thoughts. Very, very well said. Thank you, Aparna. Able to convey and convince others our thoughts. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Well said. Well said. Nafisa, thank you. Shabina, Jilesh, and Aparna, thank you so much. Communication skills is not language. It is your thoughts, your ideas, the clarity in your thoughts that you have in your mind has to get translated to the other person, to the recipient. He has to understand what you said. You may use the best language ever, but if you're not able to convey your thoughts and express your ideas in the best possible way for the other person to understand, you may have to go up to his level, you may have to come down to his level to explain him. Somebody unmuted wants to say something? Somebody wants to say something? Okay, so communication is speaking and not just speaking. And anybody wants to say communication is not just speaking. And as IT professionals, you need to have this beautiful soft skill. Beautiful soft skill. In communication, not just speaking, there's another skill you will have to complement your speaking ability. Anybody wants to guess what is that skill that I'm talking about? And as IT professionals, you will need this in monstrous amount. So when I think Shabina said patience, right? I think, yeah, Shabina, said patience. It's a little complementary to this particular skill called patience. You should have the patience too. Anybody wants to write on the chat and tell me? Listening as a skill. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Amatavalli. Thank you so much. Yes, extremely, extremely important. You see, you will have to listen to your clients' issues and problems to not go back and rework and come back and again go back and rework, you see. And hence, very, very important to have clarity in thoughts and clarity in your listening to understand the issue of your client or your customer. Next, soft skill. Anybody wants to contribute as IT professionals? Thank you, everybody. Thank you for participating. I appreciate this. Thank you. The second skill after communication skills, we can speak a lot about it, but I will move ahead. The second skill, anybody wants to contribute? You see, you will be going to different countries. You will be working with different teams. Very good, Sunita. Thank you. Confidence. Yes, absolutely. You have to reflect that confidence. You will have to give those vibes to people to connect with you, to have conviction in what you say, without a doubt. Yes, confidence. But there's something else here I'm talking about. If you can think about it, like I said, you will be working remotely with clients. You may not be seeing this client in the sense face to face. You may be just listening to this client. You will be teaming. So it's close to teaming. Anybody wants to guess and tell me what is the next C? Leadership and managerial qualities, without a doubt. Yes, these are important. So in leadership and managerial qualities, there's this beautiful skill which is called, thank you, Mira, which is called collaboration. You will be collaborating with people that you don't know. I mean, you may not personally know, you professionally may know, you may not have met these people, you may be working remotely with these people. Collaboration is the next big skill that you will need to know. So you will have to break boundaries, you will have to break barriers, biases, and prejudices that you have against, not against people, but we all have perceptions in our mind. Like I said, I didn't like Monica. Nafisa, thank you so much. Very, very important. Your written communication has to be crisp, clear, correct, concise, concrete. So yes, there are these lot of C's that will come into good writing skills. Thank you so much, because you write memos, you document, you do entries. So good writing skills, extremely, extremely important. Speaks a lot about the person's professionalism. Organizational skills, absolutely, yes. Your administration skills, your organizational skills. Ashura, thank you, Ashura, Nafisa, thank you, everybody. So collaboration. Um, you will be collaborating with with so the world is going to become uh, bountiful. There will be no barriers going further in the next 2 decades, with technology coming in, with AI coming in, with RPA already, of course. All of these are already coming in. You're going to be breaking boundaries, cultural barriers, breaking boundaries, talking to people. You will have to keep everything aside and connect with them, develop relationships to achieve uh, exceptional results. Hard skills will not be enough. You will have to gel with them, to develop great relationships with them to reach there. Okay, so collaboration. What else? As IT professionals, we have another, I think, 5 minutes. Adaptability. Aparna, thank you so much. Adaptability and flexibility. Very, very important skill going ahead, not just as IT professionals, but in all careers in your lives. Adapt to changes that technology is going to bring in. You were very comfortable doing something, and suddenly in the next 1 year, you see there is another course that you will have to do. I just finished a course and I invested so much, and now there is another one coming in. Don't be surprised. I'm sure you would know more than me, since I've switched fields right now. But you will have to keep yourself updated. You will have to keep yourself uh, uh, um, in touch with the market demands. You will have to foresee and adapt accordingly. Adapt also culturally, adapt according to people that you meet. These are choices that you make. This is not a mandate. What I'm saying is these are choices that you make. Anything else has come in, I guess? Adaptability. Thank you, Aparna. Thank you. What else? Well said. Adaptability and flexibility. So communication, collaboration, adaptability and flexibility. What else? What else? With AI coming in, with RPA coming in, you have AI algorithms doing things, etc. Thank you. Lovely. So you all know critical thinking. You see, and I always say this, artificial intelligence is here to make our life easy. Okay, we will be spending less resources in terms of human assets to really work on something, you see, but you are providing the input. They are doing those complex mathematical calculations to give the output. But you see, it is for you to critically think, to foresee if there will be any changes going further. Do you foresee a challenge? As human, the human touch will always remain, and hence for you to look at a situation critically, for you to analyze, for you to draw connections, to draw patterns, human touch will be extremely, extremely important. So you will have to critically think to come to greater success and greater results. Thank you. Very, very well said. Critical thinking. Another skill. Let me see if anything else has come in. Thank you. So there you go. Communication, collaboration, critical thinking, adaptability. What else? What else? Take up responsibilities and challenges. Bindima, thank you so much. Absolutely. Yes. Accountability, responsibility and accountability. You see, everybody will get a job. You will stay in the job for a couple of years, of course. I mean, what I mean to say is you will be moving up from one position to the next position. As individual contributors, when you will be team members, not responsible for a team, they will be looking at your hard skills mostly. But yes, your the environment that you're creating around in the team, the kind of relationship that you have, the ease with which you're working with the other person, that the other person wants to collaborate with you, you know, uh, that is extremely important. But as you move up the ladder, you will be not just responsible for yourself, you will be responsible for others as well. And hence, it becomes extremely important to develop those interpersonal relationship with people. And like Bindima said, you will have to be responsible and accountable and take ownership with the for the work that you're doing. And this is a huge managerial skill, I would say. And let me tell you one more thing: all of us are managers of our own work. Officially, we may not be designated as managers, but all of us are extremely responsible and accountable for our work. Hence, in my own right, I am manager of my own work. Always remember that as well. Thank you, Bindima. What else? There is one beautiful skill that I would like to maybe say here, and maybe in the next 2 minutes, let me conclude the session. Um, you see, uh, in this lockdown, I have realized, and I'm sure you know about it, Byju's, of course, everybody knows Byju's, they come from Kerala. Byju's took over White Hat, everybody knows that. White Hat has been after our lives. Uh, my two children, my elder one is 11-year-old, my younger one is 6-year-old. They have been after our lives for them to do coding. They have such great proposals. They have aggressive marketing. And I am told, okay, that why I'm saying I am told is because I'm not really sure. Is coding the next big thing? It was always there, but without coding, it becomes a life skill, basically. You know, I see every household that I know, my family, friends, there is a child who's doing coding. What I'm trying to say here is that so I'm not sort of debating whether coding is going to be a life skill and that everything becomes through coding. So you have a left brain and a right brain. You see, right brain is more exploring, in the sense it's more artistic. That's what it's told. Left brain is more logical. uh, so then what happens to the right brained people who are extremely artistic, who are creative, who are all about music and dance and paint and etc. So the point that I'm trying to tell you here is that today, if coding is advertised and marketed as the life skill to have, then let me tell you, uh, the future of engineers is is extremely stunning, extremely bright. um, huge exposure. And I always say this, irrespective of gender, irrespective of where you come from, competent people who are able to give breakthrough solutions, who are able to propose great results, uh, or designs or ideas, are in need than ever before. But at the same time, people like to work with people they like. Always remember that. But that doesn't mean hard skill should be ignored. Uh, you see, I will give an example, and I think I will conclude. Two more minutes. Uh, have you seen a house? So when you see a house, what's the first thing that is built to make a house? What is the first thing that is built to make a house? Foundation. The foundation of the house. Basement. That's right, Bindima. The foundation of the house. And on that foundation is your entire home or building built. Okay. Please remember, your foundation is your hard skill, and the entire building is your soft skill. I would say it this way to make you understand, if this analogy is anywhere making sense to you. The foundation has to be strong, because people may not know that you have the knowledge and the expertise till the time they talk to you. And when they talk to you, if you come across as also somebody who's got great expertise, who's got great knowledge, but at the same time, you are a person pleasure to be working with as well. I think that is icing on the cake. I think with this, I wish you all the luck in future. And I will say the future is bright. Do study hard. Um, engineers are in need than ever before, like I said, in almost all fields, all industries, like never before. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to ask us on the chat, or you could come off mute and speak to us. That's it from my side. I hope you had a good time today and that you will have a good time ahead. Thank you. Thank you, Meera.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your graceful words and sharing your thoughts and opinions with us today. Thank you so much for all the wonderful knowledge and insights shared with our youth on this session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You all have a great evening. Take care, everybody.